Hey, this is Big Sexy Kevin Nash. You're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com, the only place to hear people like me tell it like it really is.
All right, we're back. And who's next?
What's up, guys?
Not much. How you doing?
You know what, guys? Before Thanksgiving, I'm doing great because the only thing I'm looking forward to is eating for about 24 hours.
Ooh.
Looking like a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You a turkey man?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the turkey. Tell everybody, Bill Goldberg.
Kosher turkey.
Kosher turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell my gram to make a kosher if you want to come over for Thanksgiving dinner.
You got it.
So everybody, get the big Goldberg clothing line coming out, and you can get that at BillGoldberg.com.
Spear this.
Yeah, it was really good, really nice looking stuff. I'm not just saying that because you're on the show.
Well, thanks, man. We're trying to do something different. We got a lot of things coming out. Different. Claiming that skull's going to be offered as a totally different design, also. But like I said, we're just trying to get stuff out for Thanksgiving. We know a lot of people are home, and I've been saying to a lot of people that this clothing line was coming out soon. And soon's been, for the past 6 months probably. But, it's good to finally get something out there for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my co-host told me that you had a clothing line coming out to check it out on the website. I just got a picture of you standing in the pyro, just snarling away and thinking, that guy's a fashion designer now.
Yeah, no doubt, huh?
but then I checked out the website, and it's good-looking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks. Like I said, it's just the embryonic state of the clothing line.
Is it only available at the website? Is it going to be at a store?
No, actually, what the deal is it's going to be available through my website. It's going to be available through Year One, which is the largest automotive parts supplier of restoration products right now. This guy's got like 12 catalogs out. It's going to be done through his stuff. And actually, my gym, I got a martial arts gym out here in California. Through that website, and then eventually we're going to get it in stores.
About your gym, they said in martial arts. Do you still train for like MMA?
Absolutely, man. It's a Muay Thai gym.
Yeah.
And I still train, no question.
Any plans of ever doing an MMA match?
And I'm getting old for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting a little old for that. So.
All right.
I would love to, but. Most of the guys are my friends. I'm going to live by
Ken Shamrock.
Well, actually, Ken's a buddy of mine. Ken and I are going to do some USO tours together.
Cool.
Actually, we're going to do one in San Diego in March. But I'd do an exhibition with one of those guys in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I saw you in one of the Pride shows. I'm a big Pride fan.
Yeah, Pride's totally different than the UFC deal, man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You got your proponents for both of them. I'm they're both totally different. Pride's turned kind of into
It's more like a big show, big event.
Big show, man. It's more like wrestling than anything. So.
Yeah.
But it's still cool. It's good to tune into.
Yeah. So it's weird when you're on there because they have like some kind of rule on the American ones where they can't say professional wrestling. So when you were on, they were saying like former NFL player.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
No, I'm serious.
Well, you know what the funny thing is that they've turned their show into professional wrestling now because of what they did with Shamrock and Tito Ortiz, pretty much. So
Yeah.
If they're smart, they are smart now because they're figuring it out. Have to have good stories. Man, can't just have good fights.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I'll tell everybody too. You also have the TV show on the History Channel, Automaniac.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's about my passion with cars.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I can get behind the wheel of a car that can go about 230 miles an hour and get paid to do it, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
I'm not getting beaten up, when I get done. So.
Right. That's always a plus.
Yeah, it's a big plus.
Is that going to be on the second season? Or don't you know yet?
No, man, I don't know. We're still waiting to see what happens. Actually, I'm kind of shopping at the other networks because I don't know about History Channel. So it's basically going to go to the highest bidders. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. When we just had Ulix on, we asked him about Buddy Lee Parker. So I thought I'd ask you too. Any stories about Buddy Lee Parker?
The best story I can tell about him is that he was instrumental in my character, not my character, but my training.
Right.
He was the one that I listened to and pretty much molded my wrestling work ethic after. That's influential as far as without him, man, I don't know what would happen.
How would you compare the power plant to like an NFL training camp?
Oh man, it's. I mean, we can't really compare these two. Except for the fact that the only thing they're really trying to do at the power plant was trying to demoralize you and get your ass out of there as quickly as possible. If you didn't want to be if you wanted to just be there as a number. I mean, if you didn't have the passion for it, they just wanted you to leave.
Yeah.
It was more demoralizing there. Football, man, if you can't hang, you're done.
Yeah. Anybody else do the spear like you? It's kind of a big move now. You pretty much.
You guys are going to have to answer that question, man. I personally don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
You know, ask Vince Russo. ask everybody who's been speared by me and by these other schmucks who think they can do it, and then you tell me.
Who's the funnest guy to spear? Would that be Russo?
No, there was too much anger involved. Most fun guy to spear. Canyon was pretty damn good because you knew he was always going to fly for you. Chavo Guerrero. There's a couple guys take it really well.
Yeah. Anybody ever complain that you were too stiff in the ring?
A lot of people did.
To your face?
It didn't get them anywhere. But if you can't take a punch or a fake punch, then you're in the wrong business.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you should go out there haphazardly and put people in jeopardy because the reality is that every time you get in that ring, the other guy's got your livelihood in his hands. So you don't want to take advantage of that ever. Not to say that I ever did, but you slip up every once in a while and somebody complains about it and they're in the wrong damn sport.
Yeah. You talked about Buddy Lee Parker. Would you consider him the most helpful guy in your early days?
Oh, yeah, no question. Absolutely, hands down, no question.
Is there anybody else in WCW who kind of took you under their wing and really helped you out?
There were a lot of guys that, I think there were less guys that didn't help me out than there were that did, because, everybody from good God, from Arn to all the Guerreros, to Sarge, to Hogan, to Nash. Hennig was absolutely instrumental in my upbringing as a professional wrestler. I owe a lot to him. There's no question about that. And, the list goes on and on. And there are a lot of people that really did help.
Yeah. Anybody
looking back at it, was there anybody who was giving you advice that seemed a lot more helpful at the time than it does now?
You know what? Everybody, there's a lot of people that are going to give you, 90% of the people that are going to give you advice have ulterior motives. And with the times changing, the motives change. So,
yeah.
There were a lot of people that were genuine, and there were a lot of people that weren't. So,
yeah.
I think it's pretty well known in the business who those people are.
We want the dirt. Do you miss the energy and the pop from the crowd?
Oh, absolutely, man. No question.
Yeah.
You always enjoy standing in. For me, it was a sequential process. It was getting the knock on the door, hitting my head against the door, pouring the bottle of water on my head, opening it up, and walking out with the cops back in the good old days, and standing at the fireworks and listening to people go crazy. That was it. That was awesome.
There's was he intro?
I just want to ask, did you miss that big entrance in WWE, that you had in WCW?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It really,
There are lots of reasons why my character was the way it was at WWE. They weren't going to carry on a cool entrance like that up there because it would have taken away from other people's entrances, and God forbid.
If you could find a wrestling group that was devoid of politics, do you think you'd still go back and do a match every now and then for them?
Well, absolutely, no question about it. No question about it. If there was a company out there that had nothing but business on their mind and wasn't self-serving, wasn't as much of a very detrimental atmosphere as the other company I was with. And yeah, no question, I'd do it. But it has to be soon because I'm getting old.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll start one up. We work for $50 a week.
Good luck, dude. Good luck.
I guess that's out of the question.
I'd sign you an autograph for $50.
All right.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Maybe a Goldberg cardboard cutout.
Hey, you know what? For $50 you can buy 2 Goldberg T-shirts. So there you go.
There you go.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Intro, before I interrupted you?
I was just going to say, one of the last dream matches, at least in my mind, it has to be Austin versus Goldberg. Do you think that'll ever happen?
I don't think so, man, because of his health. Although I hear the rumor that he and Hogan are wrestling at WrestleMania this year. Next year. But, no offense to Hulk, but, you don't have to be... He's not going to worry about being his opponent being too stiff, this being Austin. He's not going to have to worry about getting hurt when he's in the ring with Hulk by any stretch.
Right.
But physically, I don't know if he can ever withstand... being in there with a guy, like me, but although I take care of him 1,000%. Steve's a very good guy, and I'd love to get in the ring with him. It's a dream match of mine, and everyone, a lot of other people's too.
Yeah. I'd love to see it happen.
I'd even let him stun me.
Right. As much as you try to protect somebody with a spear, you're still running headlong into them.
Yeah, but I can tell you with 100%. Confidence that I can take care of it.
Yeah.
We could take care of it, no question. But I can tell you with 100% confidence if I didn't want to take care of them, I could do that too.
I'd read that when you're in WWE that they didn't want you to do the jackhammer as a finisher. They just wanted you to do the spear. Is that true?
Yeah.
You know the reason behind that?
I knew they were really trying to take a crap on my character.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to cut one of my finishing moves out.
Yeah. It didn't make much sense.
No sense whatsoever.
Do you think they just didn't know how to use a Goldberg character, or do you think it was intentional?
I think it was intentional. It doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure out that it was intentional.
Yeah, Jack.
Come on, man. They know how to bring characters up. They know how to build guys. They know how to get steam behind them. They sure as hell know how to try to kill people too.
Right. And I know the one time you really liked Goldberg and you speared, I think it was Rosie through the barricade. I mean, that got over huge, and they really never did anything else like that again.
I wonder whose idea that was.
Was it yours?
Yep.
Ah, cool.
I gotta be honest, I was never a huge Goldberg fan, but there was something about, for example,
bring it up.
Well, I'm going somewhere with this.
All right.
There's something about watching, for example, the Elimination Chamber at the SummerSlam. Just watching you plow through all those guys that just kind of got the adrenaline going as a fan.
Well, that's what it was supposed to do.
Right.
Hopefully, after that, you were somewhat of a Goldberg fan because that match was pretty indicative of the things that if they let me, set up some of my own stuff that I could do.
Absolutely.
I'd say 75% of the stuff I did in that match, i.e. kicking the glass and punching the glass and all that stuff, I did.
Yeah.
They didn't script that crap out for me. Those guys would never come up with anything that good.
We had Magnum TA on here a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that the most important attribute to being a top wrestler is charisma. Would you agree with that? Do you think maybe some fans put too much emphasis on in-ring wrestling?
Well, yeah. The typical guy, when you talk about charisma, you look at Hogan. Hogan can't wrestle.
Right.
No, he'll tell you that. He'll tell you that in a heartbeat. I can't wrestle. But I had something that people like to see. When Hogan, when the Giant and I were going around doing house shows, and he'd come out smoking a cigarette, and Charles Robinson would bitch at him, and Hogan would get, and Giant would get him up in the choke slam, and I'd run out from the back, spear him, and jackhammer him, and 1, 2, 3, that was it. And that was the main event everywhere, and people went absolutely crazy.
Right.
I mean, come on, man.
Oh yeah. I was a big Goldberg fan, I'll be honest.
Oh yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I mean, I tried to give everything I had. It's a lot of fun, man.
I actually think a lot of people, I think you're a bad rap for not being, by some fans on the line, not being a good worker, because I thought everything you did looked really good, and everything was really intense.
To me, that was the point. My claim to fame wasn't being, a Dean Malenko, the man of 1,000 moves. I didn't need 1,000 moves. People didn't want to see me chain wrestle. They didn't want to see me down. They didn't believe it. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. This one is, he's really intense.
They wanted to see me smash people. That's it.
And that's what they got.
Exactly.
Do you have a question, Incher?
I just want to know, was it hard making the transition from wrestling to the movie business?
I haven't made the transition yet, man. I mean, guys like Brock's made the transition. I mean, I'm just trying. The movies are easy compared to wrestling because it's not live. You shoot and shoot and shoot, and they pick the best one, and then they print. So comparatively, it's a walk in the park. Sitting in a movie trailer for 12 hours, that was something hard to get adjusted to, but it's part of the deal.
Yeah.
They pay you to sit in the trailer, and you work for free on a movie set. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And, so I'm appreciative to get any opportunities I can in Hollywood, because it's pretty difficult out there. There are a lot of people trying to do what I'm doing.
We're ever going to see a Santa Slate too?
Oh God. Who knows, man? I don't know. We'll see what happens when that thing goes out on DVD and people see the edited scene.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if the DVD one is it like unedited, because I kind of figured it was.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, hey man, it's a tongue-in-cheek movie. It was a lot of fun. The reality is that the best part I got out of it, if nothing else, was that I met my wife on set. So.
Well, that's cool.
You wouldn't believe the fan base some of those movies attract.
Well, hey, look at some of those cult classics. Hopefully,
Evil Dead.
Hey, I'm a 6'4", 285-pound killer Jewish Santa Claus. God's name is going to take that serious.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it'll be like another Christmas Story.
Yeah. We reviewed the movie on here, and actually we liked it. This was before we knew you were going to be on the show.
Well, that's cool. I appreciate that very much. And like I said, if you take it, you can't take any of it seriously. You really can't. I mean, it's the stupidest movie,
Right. It's kind of fun.
But it's pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
Some of the things, I mean, I can guarantee you, when you guys get the DVD, you're going to flip out, because there's a lot of times where, I mean, some of the scenes, they play my entrance music when I was coming around the corner. All the claymation stuff that was done, the guys doing my entrance, hitting himself in the head, and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's got some pretty funny little parts.
Yeah, that's some big stars right at the beginning too. James Caan.
Yeah, they had to get killed real quick to get out of it.
Back to wrestling. Have you seen the Ultimate Warrior DVD?
No.
I was just gonna. You ever worry that WWE will put something out like that about you?
I don't know what. I have no idea what is on the DVD.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much. It's called the Self-Destruction Ultimate Warrior. It's pretty much like burying him.
What? I mean, touch on part of it for me. How is it there?
They just make fun of his promos, and they say pretty much the WWE made him. They even have guys they Christian and Jericho do imitations of him on the DVD.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
No. Well, they pretty much paint him as crazy on screen.
I don't believe that'll happen to me.
No.
What was it like working with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Universal Soldier 2?
It was fun, man. We had a good time. He'd never worked with anybody that would let him hit him before.
Really?
But he was all right. And I've heard, you hear all the horror stories about him, and he was a very nice guy to me, and that's the only way that I can pass judgment on him, is how he treats me.
Yeah.
I'm a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan myself.
Yeah.
You hear a bunch of rumors. There were a bunch of things supposedly that went on, but none of them happened.
You said about you missed the, like the crowd response. Was it different wrestling in Japan, where the crowd's a little different?
Oh yeah, it was totally different in Japan. I loved it in Japan, for a lot of reasons. But yeah, the crowd was totally different to get used to, and it was pretty freaky. They sit on their hands most of the match.
Yeah, I think maybe you're doing something wrong when you first there, maybe.
Yeah, you don't know. You never know, man. But it's a lot more fun working over in Japan as far as the work itself.
Yeah. Any plans ever going back?
No, I'd love to. Yeah. Like I say, right situation with the right company, I do.
Cool.
Do you need to trust your instincts more wrestling in front of the Japanese crowd as opposed to in America where you can follow the crowd's energy during the match?
You're a very perceptive person, my friend. No
Thank you.
The best advice I can give somebody who's never worked there.
I'll be bragging about that later.
You got a question from the message board?
I don't have the question.
Someone asked about your match with Regal on Nitro. Yeah, there was always a rumor that he tried to make you look bad in a match on Nitro once.
I think who knows if he did or not. I know that it was an issue at the time.
Yeah.
I know it was during the time that, I let the Barbarian belly to belly me from the top rope, for God's sake.
Right.
And when I after I came through the curtain, Bischoff asked me if I was crazy because, you shouldn't let people do something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, if he was trying to do it, then I didn't really care at the time because I was so appreciative of being in the situation. I mean, all these guys that have been in the business for 5, 10, 15 years were putting me over in 2 to 5 minutes.
Right.
And I felt so guilty a lot of the times that I'd let people do anything they wanted because God's sake, I knew what was going to happen at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to where when I was smart enough, I don't say that I was gullible, but like I said, I went above and beyond because I felt guilty about being in that situation. And I let people do what they wanted because I knew at the end I was going to be kicking their ass and I was going to be sparing them and I was going to be jacking them.
Right.
At the end of the tenure, if somebody did anything to me, not at the end, but as I grew in the business, if somebody did anything to me that I knew was detrimental to what we were trying to do in the match, I'd just punch them. They stopped doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to ask any bad questions then.
No, I can't get.
I'm just kidding. No, that's true.
Was there one guy in WCW that you felt really knew how to get the most out of the Goldberg character in the ring?
Oh, Curt Hennig. A lot of the guys did, man. Hogan really did. Hennig did. A lot of the NWO guys, man. They were all the NWO guys. They were great heels. Nash did. I tell you what, Scott Hall did because I just totally hated him, and he definitely knew how to get it out.
Yeah. A lot of people say, like, maybe your first match, it was really, people really remember is the one with Raven, where all the flock ran in.
Oh, yeah, in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a fun match. Raven definitely knows how to work, man. He's one of those lifers. He's been out there for a long time, and he's perfected, working in the business.
Yeah.
Well, that's the cover story. If you hear him talk, he kind of just likes putting people out there so he doesn't have to take the bumps himself.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, he's smart.
Right. Yeah, you do whatever you do, I guess. I also remember some of your later matches with Steiner near the end of WCW. I always thought those were really good matches.
They were awesome, man. I had a lot of fun with Scotty and Robbie, but
I think he was a guy people believed could actually, hurt Goldberg.
Well, see, there you go, man. That made it fun to be in there with a guy that people, actually believed could get down, and, that I couldn't just steamroll. That's why it was so much fun with the Giant.
Yeah.
Because he'd do something and then, slam me and turn around and be big, gullible, stupid Giant, and then I'd spare his ass and pick him up and walk him around the ring until I wanted to put him down, and that in itself was kind of a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, actually. Remember at the time.
I put it to all these other guys who think they can spear people to pick the giant up and walk around the ring.
Right. But the only other guy you really saw do a lot of moves to him was Lesnar.
Oh yeah, Brock, man. Brock was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Brock was, he was great, man. And he made a decision, and I backed him 1,000% in because he wanted to follow a dream, and whatever happened, happened. As long as he can look himself in the mirror, man. He accomplished more in a short period of time in the wrestling world than 95% of the guys can ever say that they ever did.
Yeah.
I don't think Edge could get the giant up vertical and walk around the ring with him.
No.
Especially now, he's put on he's put on a few pounds, I think, too. Old Big Show.
But I could still get him up.
Yeah. How would you compare working for like Bischoff and working with Russo?
Yeah, you can't really compare those, man. It's like working. I don't know a good analogy. Who knows, man? I think I've said just about as many bad things as I can say about Russo.
Oh, okay.
Bischoff was cool. He knew what was going on. He got caught up into it. We all had a good time, and we were riding that wave, and I was lucky enough to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly honest with you, that wave started subsiding when Russo's ignorance, was thrown into the picture.
You think it was a big mistake to turn you heel?
Who knows, man? It's hard for me to give you an opinion on that because it would have, in the wrestling world, it would have been great because nobody ever would have seen it coming. They wouldn't have thought I would have done it. But I don't know, man. I mean, as a wrestler and as a person in the business, I think it probably was. I mean, it was a horrible way to do it.
Yeah.
But I think the idea was great. Me as the person that I was at the time and the night they asked me to turn heel was, going after who did I go after? Duggan after he had got over cancer, and I had a 12-year-old cancer patient in the back, Make-A-Wish kid that was just absolute tears when I went out there and did that. For a guy like Goldberg, who's the wrestler, it was a great idea. For a guy, Goldberg, who's the humanitarian, who knows that 90% of the kids, or 50% of them know it's not real, but the other 50% that, take it personally, and, I don't want to hurt any of their feelings. So I was kind of caught it was a dichotomy. It was hard to do.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe as a heel, a character really needs to have a vulnerability in the ring, which really would have hurt the Goldberg character?
Not necessarily. No, I don't think he has to have vulnerability at all. Because if he's indestructible, just because he's indestructible doesn't mean people are going to like him.
That makes the babyface the underdog, which is also a good storyline.
Well, yeah, no question. It's an instant storyline, but people like the invincible guy too. But being invincible doesn't make the guy.
No. Which did you enjoy while you were out there the most?
What, being a babyface or a heel?
Yeah.
I wasn't a heel, but like 2 days. But if it was done properly, the gut feeling inside that I have, taking the fans out of it, I would have loved to have been a heel. I would have been, Dick the Bruiser and guys like that. Man, I would have loved to have been a dirty ass heel. Are you kidding me?
Were you a wrestling fan growing up? You mentioned Dick the Bruiser.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was, but I wasn't. I was in that I enjoyed watching.
Right.
But I never aspired to be a wrestler.
Yeah. Who would tonight like to watch them?
Oh man, Texas Championship Wrestling. Tony Atlas, Fritz Von Erich, Ivan Putski, Road Warriors. Mostly, my favorite was Bruiser Brody. Was my favorite, no question.
Yeah. You see a lot of Bruiser Brody and Goldberg.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have been. Brody was a baby face in Japan, like big time.
Mm-hmm.
I would have, if I was a heel, I would have worked like Brody. But since I wasn't, I couldn't work like Brody.
Right.
So that was the way I wanted to work.
Are you surprised to see Bischoff working for Vince McMahon?
Bischoff would do anything to make money.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
So no.
What was the feeling like when you heard that WWE bought WCW?
I want to puke.
Yeah. Do you think they waited too long to bring you guys in, bring like you and Nash and Flair in? I think they should have brought you guys right away to make the invasion angle really work.
I think so. I mean, but the ego thing played such a big part in that, man.
Yeah.
You know, the acquisition, the takeover, the having the guys infiltrate in. The whole thing was just doomed from the beginning. And in all honesty, if not patting myself on the back, but if you don't have the whole package, then what do you have? If you don't have one of the strongest guys there, then what formidable, team do you have? I mean, sure, I'm not taking anything away from Steiner and,
Yeah, they didn't even bring Steiner in right away either.
Guys like that, I mean, yeah, they didn't even bring him in right away. And you brought me and Steiner, both the Steiners in and some guys, yeah, we would have made a serious impact. Well,
yeah.
I was sitting at home, getting paid guaranteed money.
Right.
And I wasn't giving 50% of it up to go on the road 100 days a year and get my head down.
Right.
I mean, I think that's a little bit moronic, more so than
yeah.
going.
I know a guy. I think DDP actually he gave up his guaranteed contract to come into WWE.
Yes, he did.
No, that didn't work out. I don't think.
Nope. But no, that's. And it's nothing against him, man.
Right.
They're lifers, man. There are guys that would jump off a building just to be on television.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good, bad, or indifferent. That's just the way he is. And just has a passion for what he, enjoys doing. And I didn't have that same, unrealistic passion. I mean, I do that, for football, man, I'd go out there. I'd do anything to be able to play football for a long period of time and get in the Hall of Fame. That's what I wanted to do. The other, you have to look at it like a business. That's how I looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I was passionate about it, but comparatively, it was a business.
Right. Speaking of NFL, what did you think about the XFL?
I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was great that they were able to give people jobs that couldn't be in the NFL or the World League.
Right.
Because at the time, during my football career, I was one of those guys at a point. Mm-hmm. So I was appreciative that a lot of my friends still had jobs. But as far as what they put on TV, man, it was horrible.
Yeah. Do you have another question from the message board?
Let's see. Raven Effect. He wants to know. What was your favorite match that you've wrestled out of all your matches?
Well, other than wrestling in front of 41,000 people and winning the heavyweight belt, with Hogan in front of all my teammates, I'd have to say anytime I got in the ring with Sting, it was awesome.
Yeah.
He was my favorite guy to work with, hands down. He and Hennig.
Kurt Hennig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football player, pro wrestler, actor, TV host, fashion designer now. That's quite a resume. I mean, is there anything else we should be looking at for on the horizon with Bill Goldberg?
Who knows, man? I'm always trying to reinvent myself. How about TV producer? I'm gonna on this new TV show. Hopefully, I'll be co-producing the car show. But we also got another show coming out on Spike called Joe's versus the Pros next month. Actually, we're filming. That'll be quite an interesting show.
Yeah. Well, what's the storyline behind that?
3 average Joes compete against 12 sports icons for a 10 episode series.
Oh, that should be
You're going to slaughter them, right?
What's that?
You're going to slaughter them, right?
We'll see, man. I don't know what's going to happen. To be perfectly honest with you, it's you know what? I'm thinking it's going to be like those guys doing the ballroom dancing crap, doing the figure skating or doing the whatever. Because they've got us. I think they've got us doing some really out of the box stuff. They have sport specific tasks and then they have some that don't pertain to what we used to do. I mean, and I'm the least athletic of anybody in this whole group, so.
That would definitely be out of the box if we see Goldberg doing ballroom dancing on TV.
Yeah, figure skating is one of the events.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to tune in to see that.
See Carl Malone figure skate?
Oh, yeah. Mailman.
Yeah. Or Drexler, or Jim McMahon, or Jerry Rice, or Bo Jackson, or Herschel Walker.
Bo knows. He can do it all.
Exactly. We'll see.
Good stuff.
One of our fans, Jeff Hardy, wanted to know, did the sparks hurt your skin, and was it hard standing still when the fireworks would go off?
I think it hurt my lungs more than it hurt anything.
Yeah.
You don't know what that's going to do to me later in life, but it burnt. You know, if burning holes in my trunks was any indication of what it's doing to my skin, it bothered me a little bit.
Yeah, it's probably not a good sign.
It was well worth it. I thought it was I thought it was the coolest entrance there was. Nobody was stupid enough to do it like me, and I liked that fact, and I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to remember that. Anything you want to tell your fans before I let you go?
That's it, man. Just I appreciate everybody always being out there and being Goldberg fans, and you know, like I said, I'm reinventing myself and trying to do as many things as possible. And one of these days, you know, who knows, I can get back in the ring. But don't ever think that I forgot about you, fans.
Maybe fourth co-host of In Your Head.
There you have it. Be good, guys. I appreciate it very much, man.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Can we just hold you for 1 second on the break?
This is Eric Bischoff. You know, controversy creates cash. You know what else? You're listening to In Your Head.